The Dershow.
There is absolutely no constitutional doubt, none, that the president has the right to do a one-off military attack as commander-in-chief of the armed forces of the United States. There's absolutely no doubt about it. Let me explain why. The framers of the Constitution, in their original draft of Article 1, gave Congress the power to make war, Very big difference. Make war. James Madison, the father of the Constitution, said, no, that restricts the president too much. He has to have the power to make war to protect the interests of the United States from imminent attacks or other attacks. So no, we're going to change the Constitution. We're not going to say that Congress has the power to make war. It doesn't have the power to make war. That's the power of the commander-in-chief. The president, the Congress only has the authority to declare war, to formally declare war, to create a state of war between one country and the other. That's what the Article 1 means when it says Congress has the power to declare war. It doesn't mean that there's a restriction on the power of the commander-in-chief to make war or to engage in military actions. And not only do we know that from the history of the way the Constitution was drafted, we know it from the history of America. We know it from Thomas Jefferson going after the pirates. We all know the song, "From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli." What do you think the shores of Tripoli mean? The shores of Tripoli mean the Libyan pirates who were endangering American shipping. And Thomas Jefferson, without getting a declaration of war, went after them. Since I've been an adult, we have gone into Korea. We've gone into Vietnam. We've gone into Grenada. We've gone into, who knows, nameless other places, Afghanistan, Cambodia, and we've never declared war. The last time we declared war was right after the bombing of Pearl Harbor by Japan. We declared war on Japan, we declared war on Germany, and then I think within a few months, we declared war on two of Germany's allies, Romania and some other country. It's the last time we ever declared war. And it's probably the last time we will ever declare war. I make a prediction here. We will never again declare war. We will never again declare war. It's an anachronistic concept of declaring war. What do you have to declare war? You fight battles. And that's up to the military. The military makes those decisions under the auspices of its civilian commander-in-chief, the President of the United States. The executive branch makes the decision whether or not that the American people need protection against terrorism, against the nuclear threat from an enemy. And then the president decides precisely how to do it. If you declare war, that gives the other side a tremendous advantage. And then you say, all right. You don't have to declare war. But at least you have to get an authorization from Congress. Where's that in the Constitution? Where is that in the Constitution? It's a made-up issue. There's nothing in the Constitution that says that a president needs authority from Congress to engage in military activities. And so the question for me is not, is it unconstitutional for a president to bomb an Iraqi nuclear reactor? That to me is an easy question. That's simple. The hard question is it constitutional for Congress to place restrictions on the Article 2 power of the president by these kind of War Measures Acts, which say, well, you can do it, but only within 6 months, or only for this reason, or only in this location? That raises a very serious constitutional issue. Whether or not Congress, under the separation of powers and checks and balances, has the authority to constrain the commander-in-chief, who is a civilian, from engaging in military actions which he deems essential to the protection of the United States and to the prevention of worse harm or the preemption of immediate harm. That's the hard question. And I don't think Congress has that power. So let's take the following hypothetical. Let's assume these partisans in Congress, Schumer and Jeffries and AOC, get their way and they get a vote as to whether the president should have the authority to bomb Iran again if Iran bombs it. Let's assume it. We have the debate. And it loses. And it loses. And Congress refuses to give the president that power. And what if the president takes it anyway? Under Article 2. You think the courts would stop that? Of course not. So the failure of Congress to give the president the authority to do what he already has under Article 2 of the Constitution is unconstitutional restrictions on the Article 2 power. You know, we love to talk about the power of Congress under Article 1, yeah, but we have Article 2, and Article 2 empowers the president as commander-in-chief to do what commanders-in-chiefs and executives have done throughout history. And that is to take military actions that are deemed essential to prevent further harm to the United States and to protect American citizens. You know, I lay a lot of that out in my book, The Preventive State. I don't just make this stuff up. I did a tremendous amount of research. And in The Preventive State, I talk about the president's authority to take preventive action and Congress's lack of power to take action that would constrain the president from doing what he's entitled to do under the Constitution.